Welcome back to ROPSAA Sports. If you are just joining us on the show, well, you swung in just in time for our cricket segment. We are joined by Kishan Balgobin and Derek Perera of the Team Ontario Cricket Academy and Club. Thank you so much for joining us today, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So you guys have a pretty exciting event coming up soon where you're going to meet the mayor of Mississauga and as well be part of a recognition ceremony. Could you guys take us through a little bit of what your plans are for next weekend and how excited you are for everything?
Sure. The Mayor Hazel McCallion will be at the CIMA Canada / CIBC cricket launch for the region of Peel, and she'll be presenting awards to the students of the North Park cricket team that won last year's championship, and as well recognizing some of the players who were granted scholarships through the CIMA project last year, and were afforded a chance to go to UK to play cricket for a month.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, that's
very
fantastic.
exciting.
Well, no, as well, obviously talking about UK and just the growth of cricket. You know, explain a little bit, especially how fantastic and how well cricket has developed. I know we mentioned before the broadcast that you were saying that it is the fastest growing sport in Canada. But jump that now to the Peel region, and how big do you see it growing? And you see a lot of young cricketers really growing up through the ranks?
Well, definitely. I mean, you could see if you drive down any street in Brampton or Mississauga, especially this time of year, people are coming out and playing some cricket on the street. And it is actually getting organized through initiatives such as CIMA's schools tournament. Cricket is really blowing up right across Peel.
Now yourself, Kishan, you were actually a baseball player before you became a cricket player. So how do you find it difficult getting into a sport that's not necessarily considered mainstream at a high school level? And how did you get into that, get into the swing of cricket versus your baseball?
Well, I played baseball when I was like 8. And then my uncle happened to know Coach Derek, so he told my dad about him and how there's cricket, and my dad asked me. So I didn't really want to play cricket, that baseball that summer, but so my dad was looking into soccer and stuff like that. But my uncle, yeah, I told you, so yeah, so I decided to just try out cricket.
Well, clearly it worked out for you. I know now obviously playing for Team Ontario. And just go a bit through your kind of strategy and your position, I guess, on the pitch.
So I open for the batting side. I open the batting. So when the pitcher comes and just starts throwing the ball, it's kind of hard because it's like at high levels, it moves around, it cuts off the pitch and stuff like that. So you don't really like play at the ball. You like leave it and stuff like that. So it's more like a mental aspect of the game.
Very strategic, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And is that where you thrive as well, in the mental aspect?
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Confident right there?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you're heading into, obviously, an outdoor portion of the season. I'm sure you guys practice real passionately throughout the winter as much as you can indoors. How different is it to play cricket on an outdoor field versus indoor courts?
Well, when you play indoor, it's like you play on pavement, so it comes on really hard, really fast, and it bounces. And when you go outdoors, like early in the season, it's slow and it doesn't come on and it just grips in. So it's kind of hard. You just got to play later and just watch the ball. Yeah, well,
obviously speaking about practice a lot as well. What's it called, Derek? Just take us through kind of the idea of what it's like to get these practices in within kind of a region, and how hard it is sometimes to get the groups together, or is it actually easy?
Yeah, I mean it is a challenge for us organizing cricket in Canada due to the lack of facilities, indoor and outdoor. So getting stuff together is not the easiest, but as a group, Ontario Cricket Academy, we do a lot to promote cricket and get proper programs going. And as well, CIMA, as a head coach for the CIMA Schools Cricket Project, we've been able to go to a lot of schools over the winter. So getting schools in the gym, in the gymnasiums, cricket in the school gymnasiums has been a success.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful to hear. And I'm sure you guys are anticipating a wonderful season. We can only hope the best in terms of weather and good conditions for you.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, guys, for being on the show. We've got more cricketers coming up after the break, so stay tuned. This is ROPSAA Sports. Welcome back to ROPSAA Sports. We have some more cricketers on the show. It is Miriam and Emmanuel Coker, the brother-sister combo for Team Ontario. So thank you very much for joining us, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no problem. So obviously you guys are both playing right now for Team Ontario, eventually hoping to go on maybe to international ranks. But just talk a little bit right now about kind of Team Canada and kind of where cricket has grown in Canada, because the mandate right now for Cricket Canada is to grow and develop cricket across Canada in order to compete successfully at the highest level of the international game. So obviously right now Canada has been growing a lot. Do you see Canada really becoming a huge international success, or, you know, growing the ranks and really competing against the top teams like India, Sri Lanka and things like that?
Yeah, for sure. I think that Canada is developing the sport. I'm sure that no time soon our dream is to take over the senior team and hopefully play against these wonderful teams in different countries.
Now, actually, speaking on the international level, we are sitting with somebody who practices with the national squad. So Miriam, at 14 years old, I mean, that's a pretty big step to get into at your age, to train with the women's team. So what's that like? You'll have to tell us.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it was a big shock for me too. It's an honor to be working and playing with your country, and it's great. And with the coaching and everything, it's a big step, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, and has it changed your idea of where you want to take your cricketing with? Because obviously there's opportunities for scholarships now, things that you would have never had associated with the sport 5 years ago. So is that something you're looking to taking into high school, because you're only a grade 8 student right now?
Yeah, definitely. I am looking forward to get to a higher level of cricket, perhaps playing for the national team. That's automatically like what I want to do.
Yeah, that's great. Well, obviously as well on the men's side as well, Emmanuel, currently right now there's 8 out of the 15 players that are currently under 25 years old. So a very young core of players coming up and really making a mark in the cricketing Canada. So talk a little bit about your goals. Now obviously there's those scholarships, but unfortunately in Canada as well, and scholastically, there isn't any OUA or OCA sanctioned cricket as of yet. They're all club teams. But what are your goals moving forward?
Yeah, for sure. Probably playing for the provincial team is the #1 team goal right now.
Yeah.
And then from there, probably playing for Canada is the top priority for him.
And what's it called? The university-wise school? Are you looking to get maybe a scholarship, move on there?
Yeah, scholarship will really help. But like I'm hoping to keep cricket and education both hand in hand.
Now, on that note, I know you were saying that your background was actually a huge influence on how you guys got involved in the sport. So can you maybe comment on how your parents possibly pushed you into the direction of where you guys are, or was that something totally independent you guys took on yourself?
No, my dad grew up in a cricket-loving country. So as a kid, he was playing cricket a lot.
And where's your dad from?
Pakistan.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when he came here, and eventually we got a little older, he wanted to introduce the sport to us. And then from there, Coach Derek took it on, and the love of the game just kept growing.
And how about yourself as well? Is it the same kind of motivation as well, Miriam?
In the beginning, no, because it wasn't really a big thing for me. As I just kept on going to practice with my brother, watching him from outside, the interest kind of grew in me as well. So.
Oh, wow, Manuel, that's got to feel good, hearing your sister, who's being so successful in her cricket career, basically say she looked to you and fell in love with it. It must be nice having a practice partner at home, too.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah?
Now, obviously, now when you're both, do you practice a lot at home together and kind of, you know, work through some of the tactics? I know it may be difficult sometimes practicing with 2 people.
No, actually with more than one person actually helps. You know, giving like throw-ons to each other, like even catching, fielding practice. It helps having more than one person. So I think that having your sister beside you is good.
Yeah, it's a great brother-sister combo we like to hear about.
Yeah, it's great. You guys really seem to complement each other nicely, so that's good.
Yeah, as well. Now, kind of just looking quickly, if you can just answer, obviously, as well, there are currently 40,000 cricketers that are playing roughly across Canada, but it used to be Canada's national sport. Do you think it's going to grow to that level one day? You think it's going to potentially reach that heights?
Yeah, for sure. With the number of South Asians and other ethnicity people we have here, I think the sport is going to keep growing, and hopefully we can get to a good level of cricketing in Canada.
Well, thank you very much, Miriam and Emmanuel, for being on the show. Stay tuned because we got more Russell Hustle coming up here after the break.